All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to today's market recap. Today is September 12th, 2025. I didn't end up taking a trade on stream, but we'll go over a couple scenarios where trades could have presented itself. All right, so coming into this morning, I was bullish coming into the morning. If we flip bearish and start disrespecting bullish PDRAs, I can assume we are gunning for the unfilled 4-hour. Okay, so this is what the 4-hour chart looked like. We had this accumulation zone. We had all-time highs. Here's the unfold 4-hour for value gap, and then this was previous day low. And then here is what the 15-minute chart looked like, right? We have all this just generated liquidity. Okay, so what I wanted to see at market open is I wanted to see us come take all this shit out and then we continue higher, right? So I got a question asked in my Discord. It says, was the short right at open valid? Although price wasn't aligned, I felt it was everything I needed to see. PDI at open, sweeping out New York pre-market highs, CISD, and a tap back into the CISD targeting New York pre-market lows with double SMTs at the top, Asia and previous day high SMTs. So what he's referring to is, where is previous day? Right here. Okay, let's go over this real quick. So we had an SMT right here with previous day high. Give me 1 second. I know this looks confusing. Okay, and then we also had, I believe, a market open SMT right here as well. Yeah, so as you guys can see on ES was trending lower, so we had the previous day high SMT, and then along with the market open SMT, nothing happened right there. And then as you guys can see, there was a SMT right here. Now, I personally don't trade CISD, I just trade inversions. I would have took this trade. Why? Well, because we swept out all this low resistance liquidity, right? We had a internal SMT right here, and then we had a previous day high SMT, which would have been our high time frame narrative, right? Because we always need a high time frame narrative, especially if we're taking a PDI model. So that previous day high SMT was going to be it. And then yes, we had valid draws on liquidity with all this low resistance liquidity and then pre-market lows. So I personally don't trade CISD, but the CISD happened to be right here. All right, and then what do? Well, one candle later, we got the CISD. We got to retab back into the CISD. Short position, right? We would get tapped in right here. Your stops could have been right here or even above these highs. And then whatever your targets would be below. If you guys had targets below, then yeah, this trade was a valid setup. However, I was more bullish on the day, so I was being more patient and I was looking just for bullish sentiment. And then we also had news at 10 a.m. So fast forward, nothing really happened, right? We come down, we take out these lows right here. So yes, this trade would have played out. That was an A+ trade. And then, like I said, we had news at 10 a.m. So what happens? News comes out, we have data lows, and then we also have data highs. So what do we do first? We come out and take out the data highs, and then we come down lower. And when we came lower, what do we do? Well, on ES, what do we have? ES came and took out these pre-market lows. These data lows, creating an SMT. Okay, so from there, what does NASDAQ have? And this is a trade I missed. Okay, I'm human. I miss trades sometimes, right? It's just going to happen. And I kind of just took it on the chin and was like, okay, well, we can look for a continuation model now. But this was a beautiful, beautiful inversion right here. We got a 2-minute inversion after a my stomach. After a data low SMT, right? This is what your trade would have looked like. Right here down to either the wick or the body, and then your take profit could have been to all-time highs or extend it just a little bit for a 1-to-1. Okay, if you guys would have took this trade, it would have smacked in about like 4 or 5 minutes. Absolutely beautiful trade. I missed it because I was see, this is where I went wrong. I was so caught up on these bearish SMTs still from, I think it was like from here to here. Also with the previous day high, the previous day high SMT was still intact. And then I believe, yeah, we also had another bearish SMT right here with market open. And then these highs right here. Okay, so that is why I hesitated on this trade. However, I went ahead and journaled it. And now I know what to do, right? Because I was bullish coming into this morning. So why would I let just random SMTs affect me, right? ES was already trading higher as is. So off rip, I should have known that it was going to take these highs regardless, right? So that was my own fault. These SMTs really didn't matter. Why? Because we were already in such a bullish structure. And then what do we do at open? We already manipulated lower at open, okay? And then we were in a clear buy model, okay? So that is where I fucked up. It is what it is. I went ahead and journaled it. I didn't end up taking this trade, even though this was a beautiful, beautiful fucking trade. I would have took this trade fucking 10 times out of 10. But however, today I was just so stuck on these bearish SMTs that I just missed my opportunity. And it is what it is. So then from here, I was just looking for a continuation model to target internal highs, right? Because we're at all-time highs now with this line. So that means there's nothing to the left of us. So I was like, okay, we have a 5-minute open up. Let's come and tap into this 5-minute. And then continue higher. We got this weak ass tap into this 5-minute, right? I wanted to see it pull back a little bit more, and then we can target the internal highs. And then nothing much from there. Like I said, I did take a continuation short down to unfilled 50-minute gaps, and I got stopped out, and then price went to my TP, right? So we have these two unfilled 50-minute gaps right here. This was after I got off stream. However, I liked what I was seeing. Okay, we have these right, unfilled gap number 1, unfilled gap number 2. What else do we get? We got a inversion of this 5-minute gap, and I wasn't looking to trade. And then we also got an inversion of this 5-minute gap. So when I seen that, I was like, oh, price is probably just going to run. Wasn't really paying attention too much. And then I seen 2 5-minute inversions along with this 5-minute bearish fair value gap open up, right? What ends up happening? We have this slight accumulation zone. We're building low resistance liquidity. Okay, there was a 30-second inversion in here. I went ahead and set the limit order, not at the inversion, but right below it, because I didn't think price was going to retrace all the way up. So this is what my order looked like. I had my stops at the swing highs inside the fair value gap. As you guys can see, it's only a 7-point stop loss. It is what it is. But I liked what I seen, right? Got tapped in with this candle right here. Price stopped me out and then went straight to my take profit. So ended the day on that. I was like, it is what it is. I did like the confluences. It was a beautiful continuation, but just unlucky, right? Just got stopped out. We wanted one more resweep before continuing down. If you guys would have been patient, or if I would have been patient and just waited for a 1 or 2 minute fair value gap to open up, it would have played out. But this was negative RR anyway, so it probably just would have been a break even. So yeah, that's all for today's market repack. Repack. Hope you guys have a great Friday. And the weekly recap for all the trades I took this week will be out on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. All right, so I'll see y'all boys then. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves.